to Veterans Onward to Prosperity. I sure hope you're having a good day or evening or night or whatever you happen to be enjoying, I hope, as you're watching this show. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Anna Maria Bliven, and today's show is the fourth show that we're taping. The month of April is all about Mission Money Possible. We talked about in the first show about making money with employment, and then we followed that up with another show talking about credit and talking about how to basically keep your money from flying away. We also then talked with a money coach, and she showed us how to keep our money in its place. And so that, again, we are in control of our finances. Today, we're going to be talking about something that is near and dear to all of our hearts, and that is benefits. We can stretch our dollars and live a good life using our benefits. And one of those benefits for most of us, if not all of us, is disability, service connection disability. Our host today, I'm your host. Our guest today talks about the disability benefits and gives us more information so that we can act upon it because we earned those benefits, folks. We're also going to talk about vets, helping vets, and we're also going to talk about emergency funds. When your back is up against the wall, where can you go for emergency funding? So stay tuned, and we will be right back.
Mike Merwin here, U.S. Navy retired submarine officer turned entrepreneur. I turned my hobby of 25 plus years making beef jerky into a thriving small business. Made in small batches with only high quality ingredients, it's not good, it's crazy good. A portion of all proceeds helps save military lives. Order now on www.crazymikesjerky.com using code CB10 for 10% off.
Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Master Sergeant Anna Maria Bliven, and my guest today is Carlos Ramirez. Say hi, Carlos.
How you doing, Anne-Marie?
Hi, Carlos. So I'm going to let my audience know that you are a naval officer.
No. I was enlisted. 20 years Navy enlisted.
Okay, 20 years. Thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Thank you for yours.
You're welcome. Okay, so Army, Navy, here we go. I am so excited that we're going to talk about disability benefits because there's quite a few of us that feel as though that's not something we should be talking about because maybe we really should shy away from it. And then there's others that it's like, give me the paperwork. I can't wait to get this started. So can you kind of balance that out, Carlos?
So yes, disability benefits is one of my favorite subjects to talk about, just because we as veterans deserve our benefits. Hence why I started the company back in 2018. I didn't feel that veterans that the military did a great job of educating us on getting benefits and stuff like that as we were leaving the military. So I just took it upon myself to be that voice for veterans that there is opportunities for to get your disabilities increased or get your disabilities altogether. Definitely something that especially a lot of us found out last year during the pandemic, where a little bit of cash probably went a long way, as some of us got laid off. The hours got, some hours got reduced, so we could have used that little bit of money. And it's not a handout. It's something that we earned, that all of us earned. So definitely, we need to make sure that we're taking advantage of that situation of our disability benefits, not just for us, but they help our families as well. Now we got to think of what these benefits do to our for our families. So definitely something to consider. I always recommend, if you haven't applied, or if you applied a while ago and you think your disabilities got worse, to reach out to me. Let's see what we can do and get those disability ratings increased.
So how do we get started? So we're also be talking with the warriors that are our viewers. And
Okay.
warriors are those folks that haven't yet finished their service, but I would surely hope that they're planning for the day that they finish serving in the military. So warriors, please listen up. As Carlos is telling us more about these disability benefits. What is the first step?
The first step, if you haven't applied for disability benefits, is I recommend, especially if you're still in the service and about to get out, almost transitioning. I'd say if you're within eight to 12 months of transitioning, to get with the VA rep that's on your installation and see about starting those appointments and getting that done. The process is so much easier doing it if you start while you're in service. If
Yeah,
you
the records are still there.
Exactly. A lot of times, what I've found out, that some records are lost, some buildings got burnt down, and like I help Vietnam veterans that so it's hard to get those records. So if you start the process while you're still in or just recently separated, it is so much easier for you. The process is and shorter too. So one of the lengthy things is waiting for those records from different from the VA, getting them in your hands. So I recommend definitely starting the process by contacting your VA rep at your installation and setting up those appointments.
Fantastic. So when should they start setting up those appointments? Oh, by the way, let me let you guys know, it's a process. You start the paperwork, but then you go for doctor's visits, you go for more documentation, you go for interviews. You're even seen by a doctor that is not your doctor, that actually checks to see that your disability condition is real. And then from there, there's a determination, and the determination could take a little bit, right?
Absolutely, and you're absolutely correct. So for every disability that you have, you don't see you'll see a specialist for that. So if you have something wrong with your back, you'll see somebody for your back. If you have headaches, you'll see somebody for your headaches. Usually those doctors don't treat the same conditions. So depending on the different conditions that you have to see multiple doctors. But in the long run, definitely worth it to make sure that everything that you have in your record, or any kind of disability that you think you have, is annotated and documented.
Right. So if you haven't already started pulling that all together, I totally recommend you do. Right? Get all of those records together. And you know what? You can get your own records. It may take a little bit, but if you've been seen from the TMC on post, you can go to the TMC and you can get your records. If you've been at the VA hospital, they have a records division or department, and you go visit with them and you get your records. You are definitely eligible to get your own records.
A lot of times what they have you do is request your C file, and that's a process altogether. You would call it's a 1-800 number for the VA, the customer service, and start that process. That process takes a little bit. It can take literally a couple of months for them to send you those records. So if you're transitioning within a year from now, I recommend getting those records. starting that process, so that way you're not waiting until you get out and then asking for those records.
That's if you're processing out from a active military service. If you're Guard or Reserve, then you're probably being seen by a private doctor. Then once again, you really need to gather all together what it is that you're claiming. So if you have a hearing issue, you got to get your hearing documents. If you've got a sight issue, you get the drift. If you've got a back issue, that could take a little bit of time because they test that.
Absolutely. And that's a good point, Anne-Marie. So if you're seeing civilian doctors, you want to get all those records, but you also want to make sure that you get your military records so that that ankle that you twisted while you were in boot camp and it fractured or whatever, it's annotated somewhere, and then they have that so that later on, if that gets worse, if your ankle gets worse, you have document that you had an ankle condition, and then it's justifiable to get it increased.
That's after we get out and we're veterans. So
Absolutely.
we have service connection, but just like what Carlos said, we get older and the injury gets worse.
Absolutely.
So that's a really a good point to be made. All right. So we've been talking with Carlos Ramirez, and he is the founder and business owner of a business called Vets Helping Vets.
That's assisting vets.
Oh, I'm sorry. Vets Assisting Vets. But Vets Assisting Vets is helping vets through the process of more than just the disability benefits, right, Carlos?
Absolutely. So we wanted to become a one-stop shop for veterans where they can get different services offered to them. So the main service is the disability aspect of what we do, trying to consult them and get them increased or add disabilities to their service connection. The second thing that we do is we have a Realtor Service. So I'm a realtor in Florida, and we have a network of realtors throughout the United States. So whenever a veteran is transitioning from the military and then want to move back to their hometown, we have a veteran who's a realtor in that state, and that can help you. And one of the services that we provide is a discount. So the average commission, it's anywhere between 6 to 7% for a realtor. Our realtors in our network, the max that they'll charge is 5%. So it's a 1 to 2% discount, which doesn't seem like a lot, but if you factor in a $300,000 or $400,000 home, that 1 to 2% is a lot. So that's one thing that we do, and that's nationwide.
Okay.
You would just go ahead.
Okay. So what we're going to be talking about is more than just the disability benefits. We'll be talking about more from Carlos Ramirez in just a moment. We're going to break away.
Hi, this is Dave Stevens with the Disability Channel.
An inability to break out. I'm sitting by the door on the second floor, losing my 7-year war. It's not an illusion, so why the exclusion?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's about you. So,
say you're a disability dynamo.
Joining me, and welcome to this beautiful Travelers Championship.
I only want one accolade from you.
So my story is unique, it's amazing, but it's not anything that you guys don't have inside of you. I'm not a hero, I'm not anybody special. I'm just this guy without legs that went out, and I just did it.
Stats outweigh the Democrats, the diplomats, and the bureaucrats.
This is probably your first interview down on the ground on your butt and stuff like that?
First time ever,
All
baby.
right.
Eliminate and validate and validate and validate.
Stay with us and the Disability Channel.
I am your host, Master Sergeant Anna Maria Bliven, who has the privilege and pleasure of talking with Carlos Ramirez from Vets Assisting Vets. Before we broke for our commercial ad, we talked about the disability benefits, and then we also learned that Vets Assisting Vets assist with relocation. When you are finished with your service and you have processed out, now what happens next? Well, if you go back to your home station, a home of record, you're probably going to need to know, like, where are you going to live next? If it's going to be an apartment, you're on your own as far as maybe working with a Diddy move or something like that. But if you are going into a house, back to your home of record, Carlos and his team can help. So Carlos, can we talk a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So we have, like I was saying before the break, that we have a network of veterans who are realtors throughout the United States, and we offer a discounted service to veterans as they transition, or as they might have transitioned 5 years ago, but now found out that San Diego's really expensive, so they want to move to Texas or Florida or something like that. So whenever a veteran needs to sell their home or buy another home or buy a home, we're able to provide a discount service to that vet, and it's another veteran that's going to be helping you. So we try to make it just like the name says, Vets Assisting Vets. So
wow. Is that just for using can they get services even if they're not going to be using the VA certification, or they want HUD or some kind of other different arrangement, or that's only if they're going to buy a home using the VA home benefits?
No, that's open to any kind of financing that they have. And some of our realtor veterans can even help find that financing as well. A lot of us that are in the real estate and are veterans, we have some sort of in with different companies that offer either more military discounts. So one of them is they might offer help with closing costs. Well, we don't, as if you're using the VA, you don't need closing costs. So they might use those funds for something else that a veteran can use. So
just so that the warriors understand that if you use a VA home loan, you don't have to put money down, but there's some other stipulations that you might have to meet.
Right. Yeah. And you don't have to put money down, but you can. That'll help your monthly payment. But there's a few other stipulations. You have to get your VA certification, and they tell you how much you're approved for your loan. And that's not a loan approval. That just says a loan guarantee. So the VA guarantees a portion of your mortgage of the cost of the home. And I think it's on average is like $450,000 or something like that.
Wow. Okay. So that's a loan guarantee. That's not actually a loan.
Correct. You still have to meet the loan criteria, income, debt to income ratio, and good, pretty fair. I think the 650 or 660 is the credit score. So
as the minimum.
As a minimum, right.
Right. Okay. This is all great information, Carlos. So if we have any warriors out there that's looking to go back to their home of record and buy a house, by all means, remember, Vets Assisting Vets. And at the end of this interview, we will tell you how to get in touch with Carlos and his team. It's also good to know that you have the option of being a homeowner, and there's different ways that you can do that. And again, Carlos and his team can give you more information about that.
Absolutely.
After we break, we're going to be talking about emergency funding and more about that in a moment. Welcome back. We have been talking with Carlos Ramirez, 20-year Navy veteran who has his own business. He became an entrepreneur after serving in the Navy, and he also, in becoming an entrepreneur, has a business for veterans, assisting veterans. He majorly will help with disability benefits, and he also has a team of realtors that can help you locate coming right out of the service, or if you already have been out of the service and you want to sell your home and buy another home, they can help with all of that. And they are experts at helping veterans because they themselves are veterans. And we all know that we have different eligibilities available to us because we are members of the military or have served in the military. Thank you so much, Carlos, for sharing this information. This is great information.
Thank you.
How do they get in touch with you?
So our website, Vets Assisting Vets, www.vets-assisting-vets.com is the best way to get a hold of us. You would just sign up for a free consultation, and that consultation sends an email to us, and we'll reach out and let you know exactly, and ask you what kind of services you need and go from there.
Okay, thank you. Carlos also put together a short video clip of what it was like to go from the military to becoming an entrepreneur. You may, if you're following Veterans Onward to Prosperity, you'll remember that last episode, at the very last of it, I told you that at some point in my journey, I got so frustrated that I basically said, after 42 interviews, fine, if you don't want to hire me, I'll hire me. Did that also occur to you, Carlos? Is that how you became a veteran entrepreneur?
Well, I kind of, sort of, I almost, I always had the bug to be an entrepreneur. And then after I retired, I was working for corporate America for 7 years. And then I just got tired of, not being able to take vacation because I can't take Christmas off this year because I took Christmas off last year. I need to go see the doctor, but I don't have any sick days left. So I just, granted, I'm not that much of a better of a boss than my other boss because I'm harder on myself than any other boss is. But I just like the ability to be able to control my life. Like, I take vacation when I take vacation. I get up when I say I'm going to get up. I go to bed when I say I'm going to go to bed. I buy what I want to buy. And the greatest thing for me is I've helped so many people that I'm addicted to helping people. Like, the first person that I helped, just a quick story if I can. So I'm laying in bed with my wife. It's 11 o'clock at night. We're sleeping. The phone rings and it's a lady crying. So my wife is like, why is it 11 o'clock at night, a lady crying on your phone? Come to find out, it's one of the vets that I've helped. She was retired and she was only at 10% disability. I was able to help her to get to 90%. And her and her husband were just like emotionally overjoyed. And they called me crying and they were like, we love you, Carlos. I mean, it was just, I get goosebumps even now thinking about it, because that's a family that was not getting any kind of disability benefits. And to go from nothing to now they're getting like $2,000 something a month is, and their back pay was like, they had 8 months of back pay that they got. It is just, life changing. And
Yeah.
that just got me addicted to helping people, especially.
Oh, that's so cool, Carlos. I definitely can relate to that feeling of elation when you've helped someone so much so that it's made a huge difference in their lives. Thank you so much for what it is you're doing. Now, speaking of helping someone who really needs that kind of help, the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard all have emergency funds. If you're in the Army Emergency Relief Fund is where you would go. There's a Navy Marine Emergency Fund. Air Force has theirs as well, and Coast Guard has theirs as well. If your back is up against the wall and you're having difficulty meeting your expenses, please park your pride and reach out for that help. It's what that's there for, is to help in a case like that. It is just a temporary boost in that situation. Please continue to stay tuned to Veterans Onward to Prosperity, because just as it says, all the information, resources, and sources we give is exactly for you to move forward. We don't want anybody stuck. We don't want anybody to have to guess what they should do and where they should go and how they should do it. We are here to provide all of that for you with our guests as we bring them on the show. Carlos, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate all of your expertise, and we look forward to the future with people that are reaching out to you and your team. Next month is Mission Mental Health Possible. You heard me right. Mission Mental Health Possible. We are going to be talking, frankly, about all of the issues in the mental health arena that transitioning from the military to civilian life, even while we're in our military experience, such as PTSD, anxiety, depression, survivor's guilt, all of that, we are definitely going to be dealing with head on. We got guests with expertise in assisting us with our challenges that we face every day because of our experience. So please stay tuned to Veterans Onward to Prosperity, especially all in the month of May. Until then, this is Master Sergeant Anna Maria Blevin reminding you, be the best you can be.